Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the webinar series of Telangana State Model Schools. Today we have the physics session. As all of you know, Mr. Subramaniam sir has started the electrostatic potential capacitance webinar series. Today, this is part 8 of electrostatic potential and capacitance. In the previous session, sir has discussed about series and parallel capacitance. Today, sir will be discussing about energy stored in the capacitor. Welcome, sir. Over to you.
Good morning, madam. Good morning to all principals and webinar team members. Also, welcome to all the children who are attending this webinar. Today, we are going to discuss the part 8 of electrostatic potential and capacitance. In the earlier webinar sessions, we have dealt about capacitors in series, parallel plate capacitor, and also the main purpose of capacitor. So we will be starting from this particular point. The learning objectives for this particular webinar are: number 1, we will be dealing with energy stored in a capacitor. Number 2, energy density. Number 3, effect of dielectric on capacitance. Okay, effect of dielectric on capacitance. So, as part of this webinar, we will be understanding what is a dielectric and what is its purpose. Let us try to recall the information what we have dealt earlier. In series combination, each capacitor has the same charge for any value of the capacitance. This is the first one. Second one, in series, 1 by Cs is equal to 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2 plus 1 by C. Cs is the formula for effective capacitance in the series combination. In parallel combination, each capacitor has the same potential drop V for any value of the capacitance. Cp is equal to C1 plus C2 plus C3 and so on. The energy stored in a capacitor, that is the first learning point for today. So we all know that whenever we are using a capacitor, once it is getting charged, it can retain that charge. Like we have seen earlier in the part 7 webinar, when you are storing water in a vessel, the water can be retained by that particular vessel at some level. So that level we are referring here as in capacitors potential. So the capacitor has the ability to store the charge, and once the charge is stored, that means that it is storing electrical energy in the form of the charge. So we are now looking at a capacitor with some ability to store the electrical energy. So what is the expression for this electrical energy? That is what we want to know. Okay, so today let us try to derive the expression for the electrical energy. And how do we calculate that? That is what we have to observe. Okay, so for that, what we have done we are considering a capacitor of capacitance C. Okay, now the amount of work done to charge a capacitor is stored as electric potential energy U. So this is a very important point, children. Now if you observe carefully, when you are storing a charge, that means that the battery is storing some charge on the capacitor plates now, like we saw earlier in our webinar. If you see carefully, when we connect, when we are connecting a capacitor, okay, to a battery, plus and minus denote battery. Yes or not? This denotes capacitor. This denotes battery. So let us say the battery is having some potential difference. What does the battery try to do? It will try to store some charge on the plates. When it is trying to store the charge on the plates, that is when it is trying to put charges onto the positive plate and to the negative plate, work is being done in this process. So whatever work is done, the work done to store the charge or to add the charge itself gets stored as potential energy. Here U denoting what? Potential energy stored in the capacitor. Electric potential. What type of potential energy? Electric potential energy, or we can call it as electrostatic potential energy. So today we are going to learn an expression for the electrostatic potential energy. Okay. We calculate the potential energy stored in the capacitor by calculating the work done to charge the capacitor. That is how we do it. That means the potential energy will be equal to the work done. Suppose we are charging a capacitor and the final charge on it is Q and the final potential difference is V between its plates. Okay, suppose we are charging a capacitor, children, and the final charge on it is how much? Q. That means whatever the capacity is there for the capacitor, that is full. Like for example, we are having a vessel. How much water the vessel can store? Once the vessel water reaches the topmost point, it is full, no? So like that, whatever charge that particular battery can put on the capacitor, it has put. That means the capacitor's maximum ability has been accomplished. So the final charge on it is Q and the final potential difference with that particular charge is V. This is what you have to remember. Okay, then let the potential difference be small v and the capacitor and the charge on the capacitor be Q at some moment of the charging process. So this I will explain, children. 1 minute. For the derivation purpose, what we are doing is, for example, this is the capacitor. Okay, this is our capacitor. And once we connect this capacitor to the battery, what will the battery start doing? Tell me, will it start the charging process or not? Yes, it will slowly start the charging process. That means the positive terminal will put one positive charge. Like that negative terminal will put negative charge. Yes, again positive charge. One more positive charge. One more negative charge. But if you see carefully, first positive charge, this is the first one. When you are trying to add the second positive charge, already there is some repulsion. The first positive charge will try to repel the second positive charge. But in spite of that, this positive charge is getting added to the plate. That means forcibly added. That means work is done in the process. That is what I am trying to tell you. Similarly, for the same goes for the negative charge. Work should be done in adding the charge. Now one more charge I am adding. Again I have to do something. One more charge I am adding. Again I have to do something. So in this charging process, at some particular moment, let the potential difference is a small v and the charge on the capacitor is a small q. That is what we are trying to tell here. Okay, this is not at fully charged, children. Once the full charge is there, so please remember, the full charge I am taking it as capital Q. Okay, and final potential difference I am taking it as how much? capital V. Don't forget that. These are the final values. These are intermediate values. That means in the charging process at some middle point, we are taking that values. Okay. I hope that is clear. So let the potential difference be V and the charge on the capacitor be Q at some moment of the charging process. So then we can write V is equals to Q by C as per our formula. C is Q by V, no. So automatically we will get V is equals to Q by C. Let that be called as equation number 1. So here students should remember always our standard formula. What is our standard formula for capacitance? So you all know, children, the capacitance formula. Here I am writing for your reference. Always don't forget. C is what? Q by V. Okay. Then automatically from this I can write V is equals to, so V goes this side, C comes this side. I can write V is equal to Q by C. Okay, that is called as equation number 1. So here I gave you the formula for reference. You can keep this as a reference, and from that this formula has come. Now, once we know this potential difference, then now I can calculate work done. How I will calculate work done? Let us see. Let the work done to transfer an additional charge dq at this moment to the capacitor be dw. So now if you see carefully, already there is some charge. Okay, there is some charge, let us see. Some charge is already there here. Okay, this is some charge. Now additional charge dq I am trying to add to the plates. So the battery is now trying to add how much charge? Additional charge plus dq to the plate. So this battery is trying to add this much charge plus dq charge is being added. Add to which plate? To positive plate. Now you all guess, all of you. If I am trying to add positive charge to the positive plate, already it is positive. Again, I am trying to add positive charge. Will there be attraction or repulsion? Yes, repulsion will be there. Then even though repulsion is there, I have to add, overcoming that repulsion. So for overcoming the repulsion, I have to do some work. So let the work done to add the charge, to add dq charge, to add how much charge? dq charge is dw. Then you know, all of you, in the potential lesson we told potential difference is work by charge, or potential is work by charge. Both are having same formulas or not? From this I can write W is equal to V into Q. Yes or not? So here W denotes what? Work. V denotes potential difference. Q denotes what? Charge. Right or not? So like that, W is work, potential and charge. So now in this case, W is dW. So write dW. Okay. And V is V only. Write V, small v. Okay. Because it is an intermediate process. What is the potential difference we are telling? Small v. What is a charge? Small q. Okay. What is a charge? Here added charge is dq. So be careful. 1 minute. What was the charge added in the process? dq. So V into, I will get. So let me take the pen. So here we are getting how much? dq. Okay. So this is the equation what we are trying to get here. Now see carefully again. So dW is VdQ. Call that as equation number 2. Substitute these two in the place of 1, children. So V is Q by C. That is first equation. This already we saw. Second equation. Substitute the second equation in the first equation. Okay. Then what I will get? Q by C into dq. So I can make this as the second equation, not a issue, right? So in the place of V, what has come here? Q by C. So this V value is Q by C. No. In the place of V, I substituted that. So first equation got substituted in the second one. That is dW is Q by C into dq. Okay. Then how will I do this? So let the work done to increase the charge from 0 to Q is W. Now we know that already there is some charge. Already there is some charge on this. What did we do first calculation? To add dq charge. To add how much charge? dq charge to the plate. We calculated work as what? dW. dW is small v into dq. This we saw, this we got what? Q by C dq. That already you remember, I know that. But now question is, when the full charge is added, full charge is how much? What was the final charge? Final charge on the capacitor is how much? Capital Q. Yes or not? For adding the total final charge, like that if I go on adding, I will get full capacity, no. What is the final capacity? Plus Q charge on one fellow, minus Q charge on another fellow. So to add this much amount of charge, let the work done is W. What is the work done? W. That is what we are telling. So to add a charge small dq, work done is dW. To add a charge capital Q, work done is how much? W. Then you know in first year intermediate also you have done this type of derivation. Then W can be easily evaluated by using the expression integration dW. Right or not? That means if you see carefully in the derivation, let the work done to increase the charge from 0 to Q is W. Then W can be calculated by formula. Integration 0 to Q dW. Then W is 0 to Q. What is dW value? Q by C dQ. Substitute. Okay. So this we saw. This also we saw. This Q by C now you write as C outside you write. Then it will become 1 by C because C is in the denominator. 0 to Q. Q dQ. Okay. Q dQ. This now I have to evaluate. How I will evaluate? Do you remember? 1 by C. Q square by 2. 0. 1 minute children. I will explain for the benefit of all the children. Even BPC students are listening to this session. Okay. You remember children? What is the value we got? 1 by C. 0 to Q. Q dQ. Okay. This how you must do. For this, what is the formula? Do you remember the formula? Integral x power n dx. Okay. Integral x power n dx. What is the formula? X power n plus 1 divided by n plus 1. Like that. In this question, what is there? Integral q dq is there. Yes or not? Q dq. What is the formula here? In the place of power, how much is there? Power is n. And n value is how much? 1. Then I will get q to the power of 1 plus 1 divided by 1 plus 1. That means I am going to get the answer. Q square by 2 in the limits. What were the limits for the integration? 0 to Q. Why are the limits 0 to Q? Reason is simple. Before the charging started, there was 0 charge. So starting value is 0. When the charging completed, what is the charge? Capital Q. So capital Q charge is. So 0 to Q. And you know how to do this. We know first we have to substitute upper limit. Then only we have to substitute lower limit. That means 1 by C. Okay. Q square by 2 in the limits 0 to capital. Then what I will get? First upper limit we will substitute. This I am showing you here. You see all of you. Okay. Let me use an eraser. Okay. So this one, how we will calculate? You tell me. Q square by 2 in the limits 0 to Q. First we will substitute upper limit. Then we will substitute minus, that is lower limit. So Q place capital Q will come, Q square by 2, that is a variable, minus, in the place of Q, lower limit will come, 0 square, 0 square by 2. So Q square by 2 minus 0 square by 2. 0 square by 2 is 0. That means I will get Q square by 2. So I will get here formula 1 by C, Q square by 2. 2 into C will become 2C. That means work done value will be equal to Q square by 2C. That is the value of the, what is that? Work done. Okay. So now let me continue with the expression. W is 1 by C Q square by 2 after substitution of the limits. That is W is Q square by 2C. The work done to charge the capacitor is stored as potential energy U in the capacitor. Okay, that means the potential energy stored in the capacitor is U is equals to Q square by 2C. And this Q square by 2C can also be written as half CV square or half QV. I will show you how. Okay, wantonly I did not show here. I will show you on a white screen. So what is the potential energy? The formula for potential energy is so the formula for potential energy is, if you see, U is equals to Q square divided by 2C. Yes or not? But this formula I can write like this also, as Q is equals to CV. Can I write this substitution here? Then what I will get? U is equals to CV square divided by 2C. CV square is C square V square divided by 2C. 1C if I cancel, I will get half, that is CV square divided by 2. CV square divided by 2 is half CV square. So this is one formula for energy. This is another formula for energy. Depending on the problem given to you, use the appropriate formula. Like that, I will show you one more formula, you see. That means energy is half CV square, already you got. Can I write half CV square as half CV into V? Yes, we can write, because V into V will become V square. But Q is again CV. Yes or not? That means I can write U is equals to of, in the place of CV, Q will come. Of Q. So this is also another expression for energy. That means how many expressions are there for calculating the energy? You tell all of you. One is Q square by 2C, one expression. Another expression of CV square. Another expression of QV. Okay, all three stand for energy calculation only. Depending on the numerical problem given to you, you have to choose the appropriate formula. Okay, so now you understood that energy is stored in the capacitor and its expression is given by Q square by 2C of CV square or of QV. Any one of the formula you can use. Okay, now you know that there is some energy existing in the capacitor. Generally, we tell that the energy is stored in the electric field between the plates of the capacitor. So now let us try to calculate the energy density. So what is this energy density means? The energy stored per unit volume is called the energy density. That is what we will try to calculate. Okay. So the energy stored per unit volume of space is called energy density small u, denoted by the letter small u. Energy stored in the capacitor is given by U is Q square by 2C. Let's call that as equation number 1, children. So as charge density sigma is Q by A, then we get Q is sigma A. Also C is epsilon 0 A by D for parallel plate capacitor. Substitute the values of Q and C in the equation number 1. Q value is sigma A, that you substitute here. And C value is epsilon 0 A by D, that also in substituting equation number 1. Okay. Then we get energy stored in the capacitor. U is sigma A whole square divided by 2 epsilon 0 A by D. So this you saw already. Just try to see here. In the place of Q, sigma A will come. That is sigma A whole square. In the place of C, epsilon 0 A by D will come. Okay. I hope substitution is clear. Now you tell sigma A whole square. If you expand sigma square A square by 2 is there, 2 will come. This you know how to write in mathematics. In mathematics, generally, how you write, children? So the expression is like this actually. If you see carefully, the expression is sigma square, that is A square by 2, and in the denominator epsilon 0 A by D is there. That will become in max, you will write as epsilon 0 D by epsilon 0. Am I right? So 1A will get anyhow cancelled. That means you will get U is sigma square AD divided by 2 epsilon 0. We will keep this like this. Okay. So if you see carefully, what is the expression we are getting? Sigma square AD by 2 epsilon 0. Am I right? We know that electric field between the plates of the capacitor is given by the expression E is sigma by epsilon 0. This we have done derivation already last week in the parallel plate capacitor. When I explained, what did we see? The electric field between the plates is E is sigma by epsilon 0. Yes or not? So already we are having U value sigma A, sigma square AD by 2 epsilon 0. Call that as equation number 2. Okay. E value is sigma by epsilon 0. Then sigma will be what? By cross multiplying. Sigma is epsilon 0 into E. Call that as equation number 3. Then substituting 3 in the place of 2. What do we get? Sigma value is epsilon 0 into E. No. That if I substitute here, U is, already we saw this. Now I am substituting this 3 into sigma square, that means epsilon 0 E whole square by 2 into AD is there by epsilon 0. Can you expand this epsilon 0 into E whole square? Yes, we can expand. How? Epsilon 0 square E square by 2 AD by epsilon. That means if you see carefully, this 1 epsilon 0 and 1 epsilon 0 will get cancelled. 1 epsilon 0 will remain. That means I will get answer epsilon 0 E square AD by 2 is the energy value. So energy is epsilon 0 E square AD by 2. As the volume of the space between the plates is V is AD. How V is AD? Area multiplied with the distance. Area of the plates multiplied by distance will give you the complete volume, children, between the plates. Okay. So always volume is area into distance. Okay. So I will get U is epsilon 0 E square V divided by 2. That means energy density. U is energy by volume. So that volume, if I bring this side, I will get half epsilon 0 into E square. Okay, half epsilon 0 into E square. This is the expression for energy density. This is important for entrance exam point of view. Please remember, children. Okay, for all entrance examinations, this is highly important. So that is the reason why these derivations have been done. Okay, they have a lot of importance from NEET exam point of view or JEE mains point of view. So please refer to them when you are attempting the exams. Okay, then so energy density is given by formula half epsilon 0 into E square. Okay, please remember this expression. So we have now finished the first two learning points of this particular webinar. Okay, that is energy calculation and energy density calculation. Now let us look at the third learning objective. Okay, before we go to the third learning objective, I want you to remember the point what I told you earlier. Where is a capacitor used, children? When I show this, what do you remember? In electronic flashes used by photographers, the energy stored in a capacitor is released by pressing the camera shutter button. So here the photographer is pressing one button. Do you see, all of you? When he presses that button, the flash will come. How will the flash come? The flash is nothing but a result of the energy getting released. The energy stored in the capacitor is released by pressing the camera shutter button. That is how electronic flash will work. Okay, so that is how we are using a capacitor for producing the flash in the camera. Okay, there is one more interesting high-tech use, children. Shall we learn about it? Okay. So you are seeing some very bright image of some excellent flash, high energy flash actually. So where is this and what is the purpose of this? That is what we want to know. Yes or not? So I hope you also will become great scientists when you reach your higher studies and work at such high-tech laboratories. So this is actually a Z machine at Sandia National Laboratory in New Mexico. What does this particular Z machine do? There is a lot of importance to it. It is not just a toy. Okay, it's a high-tech machine. What does it do? This will, a network of capacitors releases more than 1,000,000 joules of energy in billionth of a second. 1 billionth of a second is very small time. In such a small time, 1,000,000 joules of energy is released. That is the purpose of this Z machine. So this Z machine actually consists of lot of capacitors in a network. Network means in a connection. And all of them simultaneously, when they release energy stored in them, that will be more than 1,000,000 joules of energy. And what do we do with 1,000,000 joules of energy? This Z machine is used in the experiments for controlled nuclear fusion experiment. That is what is the purpose of this Z machine. Okay, so I hope you understand the use of capacitors and where we use such instruments. Okay, hope you all one day will become great scientists and work for the betterment of the society. So again, we are back to our lesson. What is a person thinking? So how do we increase the capacitance of the capacitor? That is a question which is coming up in our mind. This has connection with our third learning point. What is the third learning point? Effect of the dielectric. Okay, let us see. So we are showing a capacitor. It has two plates, each of area A. Distance between the plates is small d. A is area of each plate. D is distance between the plates. And capacitance of the capacitor is given by expression epsilon 0 A by D. Now, how do we increase the capacitance? That is the question. Okay. For that, let us try to think. Now we know that capacitor is having plates like this. One is this plate, another plate, and another plate. How many plates, children? Two plates. Distance between them is d. Okay. So now each plate is having how much area? A. We know that capacitance is given by formula epsilon 0 A by D. So if I am seeing the formula, I will understand two important things. The capacitance is directly proportional to area. That means if area is more, capacitance is also more. So instead of smaller plates, if I use bigger plates, what will happen? Will I get more capacitance or lesser capacitance? I will definitely get more. So that is one method. But this has some problem with this. What is the problem? As I start increasing the plate area, I will need more and more space to keep that capacity. Yes or not? So I cannot go on increasing the area of the plate. That is a practical problem. So increasing the area beyond a particular extent is not practical. That is one thing what you have to keep in mind. Another one is, second method is, now if you see capacitance is inversely proportional to distance. So if I decrease the distance, capacitance will increase. That means one plate is this plate, let us say, this is another plate. Okay, this is the distance between them. Positive charge is there on one plate. I'm sorry. So I was explaining to you. Positive charge is there on one plate and negative charge is there on another plate. Yes or not? So this is one plate, this is another plate, this is the distance between them. Okay, one plate is having positive charge, another plate is having negative charge. If I decrease the distance and bring these plates little closer, so I am decreasing the distance. Let us say new distance is then d dash. What will happen? Capacitance will definitely increase, no doubt, because when distance decreases, capacitance increases. Yes or not? So by decreasing the distance, I can increase the capacity, but there is a problem. As I bring the plates closer and closer, there is a chance that this positive charge and negative charge will mix with each other and neutralize. That means the charge will completely get discharged. So because of this problem, I cannot bring the plates very close together also. So this practical problem also has to be kept in mind by the scientist. So what to do? How to increase the capacitance? That is the question. So let us see. Capacitance can be increased by number one, increasing the area of the plates. Number two, decreasing the distance between the plates. Or there is another method, third method, by using a dielectric material between the plates of the capacitor. So what is this dielectric material? So dielectrics are basically insulators. You know that insulators are not having any, you remember rubber, wood, all such insulators. So insulators are materials which do not have any free electrons in them. Practically no free electrons at all. Yes or not? Such materials can be used to increase the capacitance. So now you got interest? No. So we need not increase the area, we need not decrease the distance. First method, second method you can leave off. Go directly for the third method. What is the third method? By using dielectric material. So nowadays in all industrial uses, they use a dielectric material for the capacitor. Because by using a dielectric material, we can increase the capacitance. So what does a dielectric do? Dielectric performs the following functions. Number one, maintaining two oppositely charged metal plates without actual contact. This we will understand how it is happening actually. Number two, it allows the capacitor to sustain a higher potential difference. So it can store greater charge and energy. So what does a dielectric material do? It will allow the capacitor to be at a higher potential difference. So when it is at a higher potential difference, naturally it can store greater charge and greater energy. Third one, it increases the capacitance of the capacitor. So these are the three purposes of a dielectric. Now, to understand how a dielectric will work, let us take up the present diagram. So you know this familiar diagram already. This is a charged capacitor. One plate is having positive charge plus Q. One plate is having negative charge minus Q. And the charges are on the facing surfaces. You all know that. So whenever there is a positive charge on one side and negative charge on another side, a uniform electric field is created between the plates. That's what we saw. Let the electric field is E, children. Okay. So the electric field is from positive to negative. See the direction. See the direction, children. That is more important. Okay. That's the reason I'm playing it again and again. The direction is from where to where? Positive to negative. So the electric field between the plates without the dielectric is epsilon 0. Okay. Sorry, E0. 1 minute, children. So this you keep it as E0. Okay. That 0 you add. Okay. So electric field between the plates without the dielectric material is E0. Potential difference between the plates without the dielectric is V0. Capacitance without dielectric is C0 is Q by V0. This how we got Q by V0. Q by V no formula. So what is the potential difference? V0. So C0 is Q by V0. And this also V0 is ED. Even last part 7 also we used it. Whenever there is uniform field, I can write potential difference as electric field into distance. Yes or not? So then the energy stored in capacitor without dielectric is U0 is of QE0. So these are the parameters which are under consideration. So now we have to see what happens to these parameters when you keep the dielectric material. So now I am imagining that this black color thing you are seeing, this is the dielectric material. The dielectric material means material only. It will also have atoms, nuclei and electrons, that is positive charge and negative charge. Any material will have no. So the dielectric material is completely filled between the plates of the capacitor. So you are seeing this black material, that is a dielectric material. So the dielectric material is completely filling the space between the plates. So when such a thing happens, already we know the electric field E0 is there, earlier electric field. So when such a thing happens, what happens is, these positive charges are developing here, you see, on one side of the one surface of the dielectric. How did they come? By induction. You learned, no. So inside the dielectric material, some positive charges got pulled to one side and some negative charges got pulled to another side. That means induced charge is developing. This process is called polarization. So the dielectric material is now polarized. Okay, the dielectric material is polarized. These are the induced charges, children, developing on the surfaces of the dielectric material. Okay, one side we are having positive charges, another side we are having negative charges developing because of induction. We explained no in the electrostatics first lesson. Force and field we explained or not, charge and field. Induction will take place. In induction, what will happen? When you remember that? I'll just try to, in 1 minute, I will give you. So a neutral conductor when you are taking like this, if you see your earlier webinar, you will understand. When I bring a positively charged glass rod near that particular neutral conductor, what happens? There will be negative charges getting pulled on one side. There will be positive charges getting pulled on another side. This is called induced charge. Yes or not? Electrostatic induction will occur. Same thing is happening here also. Same thing is happening here also. You see. But dielectrics are materials which don't have that much of free electrons. No. They don't have free electrons practically. Yes or not? So a weak field is induced here. Because one surface got positive induced charge, another surface got negative induced charge. That means there are induced charges developing. So because of that, if you see carefully, 1 minute, children, let me see. This second yellow color arrow you are seeing, children, that second yellow color arrow shows that there is another electric field E dash, which develops from right side to left side. That means if you are seeing carefully, if you are seeing carefully, children, there is another electric field which is developing in this direction. Okay, from where to where? From, see, I am showing the arrow. Is the arrow clear? Yes. On the black background, arrow is there. So now two electric fields are there. One is E dash, which is acting left to right. Sorry, E, which is E0, which is acting left to right. And E dash, which is acting right to left. E dash is weak field. What is the meaning of weak induced field? Weak induced means it is not having same strength as E0. So definitely E dash value is going to be less than E0 value. Now you tell me, all of you, in between the plates, how many electric fields are acting? Two electric fields are acting. One is E0, one is E dash. Then resultant electric field. How do we calculate? You all know in the physics vectors lesson you learned. When two vectors are opposite direction, we subtract. That means resultant electric field, let us say E, that will be equal to E dash E0 minus E dash. Okay. Why am I getting E0 minus E dash? Because E dash is less than E0 value. And if you see carefully, let me move
నేను
on to
వెళ్తున్నా.
that. A dielectric develops a net
పరిగెడతావు కదా?
dipole moment in the presence of an external electric field E. Okay? The dipole moment per unit volume is called polarization P. So that P value is equal to Xi E into E, where this Xi E is the electric susceptibility of the dielectric material. What is Xi E, children? The electric susceptibility of the dielectric material. Okay, I suppose you understood that a dielectric develops a net dipole moment in the presence of external electric field. Developing a net dipole moment means that some induced charge is developing. That is the reason why dipole moment is. So you studied about dipole moment? No, that dipole moment is getting developed in the dielectric material because of the electric field. So the dipole moment per unit volume is called polarization, denoted by P, and P value is given by Ji into E. E is the electric field value, Ji is the electric susceptibility. So now I am moving on with the earlier discussion what we were doing. One more last point. Different materials have different electric susceptibility values, children. Please remember, that will be useful in your higher engineering. Okay. So the resultant, we were talking about the resultant electric field, yes or not? The resultant electric field E is now in the same direction as E0, but its magnitude is reduced. Why reduced? Because I told you already. That the resultant field E is equals to, what is the value I told you? E0 minus E dash. That means E value will be in the same direction as E0 value. That is the meaning of this. E is now in the same direction as E0. Okay. But its magnitude is reduced. What is the meaning of reduced? It will come down, decrease. Why it decrease means you're subtracting. No, when you subtract, value will decrease. So, and actually if you do E0 minus E dash, the value of E will become E0 by K. What is this K? It is called dielectric constant. K is called dielectric constant or relative permittivity of the material. Okay, so E is E0 by K. Okay, K is called dielectric constant. That means electric field got decreased K times because of the presence of dielectric material. So the resultant electric field is now same direction as E0, but magnitude is reduced. E is E0 by K. Then if electric field decreased K times, V is ED, no children. So E place what will come? E0 by K. New electric field. This is new electric field value, resultant field value. So new potential difference is V with the dielectric. That is ED. That is E0 by K into D.
నాకేస్తే ప్రశాంతంగా ఉంటుంది ఫస్ట్.
Okay. So this E0 by D. E0 D is V0. No. Already we saw in our earlier expressions that V0 is equal to E0 into D. You remember, yes or not? We wrote this is the potential difference without the dielectric material. That is E0 D by K. that is V0 by K. Let us call that as equation number 2, children. Capacitance C is equal to Q by V is equal to Q by, what is the value of V? V0 by K. I substitute that. Q by V0 by K. That means I will get E is E0 by K, which is the first expression. V is V0 by K, second expression. Capacitance C is equal to KQ by V0. How did we get this? If you see, this is Q by V0 by K. That means in max, how we will write? Actually, our expression is, if you see carefully, what is the expression we were having? C is Q divided by V0 by K. Mathematics, how do you write this? Q into K by V0. That means I can write K Q by V. But Q by V0 is nothing but C0. That means I can get KC0. Capacitance is KC0. This is very, very important. Electric field and potential difference decreased K time. Divided by K means decreased K times. But here KC0 multiplied by K times. That means increased K times. So that proves that the capacitance with dielectric is always greater. That is the purpose of the dielectric material. So here I discussed only the introduction of dielectric in the capacitor without battery connection. There was no battery connected at all. Okay, once the charging is done, we remove the battery. Then only dielectric material was introduced. So, as far as the textbook goes, this was the discussion what we are having in the textbook. Okay, capacitance is getting increased how many times? K times. Okay, with the dielectric material. So that is the purpose of the dielectric material. So I hope the dielectric material usage you have understood. Its purpose is mainly to increase the capacitance. And please remember, there will be different types of dielectric materials which can be used, like glass, polystyrene, mica. All these things are used generally as dielectric materials. Okay, they are all generally used as dielectric materials. So that brings us to the end of this session. Now let us see what we have learned. First, we have learned expression for energy stored in the capacitor. U is Q square by 2C, or half CV square, or half QV. Next, energy density U is equals to half epsilon 0 into E square. Capacitance C is K into C0. C is QC0. So this is the expression with the dielectric. Okay. So to test your understanding, two small questions. A 3 microfarad capacitance is connected to a 50 volts battery. How much electrostatic energy is stored in the capacitor? First question. Second question. A capacitor has capacitance 5 microfarad. When a dielectric is completely filled, filling the space between the plates, its capacitance becomes 30 microfarad. What is the dielectric constant of the dielectric used? So the dielectric constant has increased the capacitance from 5 to 30. So what is the dielectric constant of the material? Okay. So you can use the formula C is Kc0, then you will get the answer. So that brings me to the end of the session. Thank you, children. I sincerely thank my coordinator, Shailja Madam, for this opportunity and for all the support and guidance. I also thank my campus principal, Sri Sivaraj Garu, for all the continuing support and encouragement. Thank you, children. Have a good day. Madam, thank you, madam.
Hello.
Madam,
Hello.
madam,
Thank you.
thank you, madam.
Thank you.
Yeah, ma'am. Shall I leave?
రెడీ చేసుకోండి
Yeah, ma'am.
మీకు వీలు ఓకే
మేడం ఇంకా రికార్డ్ అవుతుంది మేడం ఇది.
రికార్డు బంద్ చేశాను.
ఓకే మ్యామ్, నేను మీకు రెడీ కాగానే మీకు మెసేజ్ పెట్టేస్తాను, పీపీటీ అటాచ్ చేసి పెడతాను. దట్ ఈస్ ద లాస్ట్ మేడం.
Yes, yes.